Y'all are savage. Cause y'all watching Tony the Babbage. What a do flight crew. Welcome back to another episode of ToniiiTV.
Ayy, hood niggas, so you know I gave her hood dick. Don't like the industry, I'm really on some hood shit. Just cause I fuck, that don't mean you from the hood, bitch. Don't bank with BOA, nigga, I'm some hood rich. Straps, cocaine, and pussy gone for the low. MGC 1600 to the 724. Set talk, gang business, so you little niggas know. Fucked her in the Lassie and a good little homie, know. I'm in the club, 100 deep with my hat low. Don't try to shake a nigga hand, you are not the bro. Knocking down your whole team like it's dominoes. Shoot a nigga up in the club if he only don't. I'm not playing TTG, I'm a joint boy. Say these bands, man, that's cool. I need a Rolls Royce. YeloHill, the hottest nigga, that's an understatement. We busy getting to this money, we did the gang banging.
So today on this episode, we are going to be doing story time. Yeah, story time. I know y'all love story time because I love story time. Who doesn't love a good story? Like who? Let me know. Who doesn't love a good story? But yes, today we're going to be doing story time. Ooh, child. Yes, I know my braids are crusty. They're starting to get to that point where it's time to be taking them out. But we are still on quarantine / lockdown / social distancing / whatever the hell you want to call it. So there's no need for me to take them down because who am I looking cute for? Who am I getting pretty for? Myself in the mirror? TikTok? Instagram? I'm fine. They can see me crusty. But grab you a snack, sit back and relax, and let's get into this story, honey. Oh, so, for some of you all who don't know, I work for a really great organization called Happy Trails for Kids, and we take foster youth up to camp during the summer and during the winter as well. Really great organization that is near and dear to my heart. But this past summer, we were doing our 3rd week at camp. And the day before, I'm, chilling, I'm relaxing, I'm taking a break from, just everything before I have to get into counselor mode. So I'm at home and I'm watching TV and I'm sipping some rosé and I'm just relaxing. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pack tomorrow in the morning before I have to leave, right? Mind you, I have to be in Carson at 7:30, the crack ass of dawn. And I was staying in downtown at the time, right? So I'm like, I'm gonna pack in the morning, I'll be fine. So as time, goes on throughout the night, it's getting late. And I'm like, all right, Tony, now it's time to start winding down and take your ass to bed. Like, go to bed. You gotta be up at the crack house of dawn because you gotta pack and then you still gotta get there. So I'm like, okay, now it's time to start going to bed. But for the death of me, I don't know if this just happens to me, but when I know I'm supposed to go to bed early because I know I have shit to do in the morning the next day, my body does not want to go to bed. And my body did not want to go to bed that night. I don't know if it was the rosé, I don't know if it was the excitement from camp, but I didn't want to go to bed. My body could not go to bed. So at this point, it's 3 in the morning. It's mad fucking early. And I'm like, fuck it. At this point, I'm just going to pull an all-nighter. I'm going to pack at 6 o'clock in the morning, shower, do all that, and I'm going to head over there, right? Bam. Got the plan. I'm set. I text my coworkers to see if they pack. I'm texting them. Still, it's 3 in the morning. They ain't even packed either. So I'm like, fuck it. We probably are going to be late. Because I'm known to be late. I'm not going to lie. I'm a tardy person. I'm always tardy to the party. Okay? It's my signature move at this point. So I knew I knew that there was a possibility that I was going to be late. And we were all going to be late. So let's fast forward to the next morning. I wake up at 9:30 in the morning. And I'm just freaking out. I'm like, oh my gosh, I know I've missed the bus to camp. I have all these missed calls from my supervisors, from my coworkers. And I'm just freaking out. I'm just what am I going to do, right? And it was just I was just shooketh. I didn't even I was just shooketh. Just. So I'm sitting there what am I going to do? Because the following week I was going on a cruise. And I was I need this check because I was depending on this check so I can go on this cruise, right? So I'm fuck, what I need to get there. So I need to figure out a way to get there, right? So I'm looking at Ubers and these Ubers are expensive as hell, right? But I'm just sacrifices. I'm gonna have to make a sacrifice right now in order for me to have money on this vacation. Hello? Because who's broke on vacation? That's not how vacation works. Okay? So I was like, I'm just gonna have to buckle down and pay for this expensive ass Uber, right? So I finally found an Uber. It was $150 something, right? It took me 3 hours to get there. It was a 3 hour drive, right? From downtown LA. So when I had called the Uber and before I even got in the car, I called her and I was like, listen, we're going to be going very far. We're going to be going through the mountains, like in the desert, like in Timbuktu, in the middle of fucking nowhere. And she was like, oh, that's okay. Um, you know, I like driving, I like nature, so we're fine. Like, I'm not going to cancel on you. And I'm like, good, poo. So I'm like, let's get this show on the road, okay? So when I get in the car, like she can tell that I'm like exhausted. So she's like, oh, you can take a nap in the back if you like, and I'll wake you up when we get to your destination. Now, usually I wouldn't sleep in an Uber because people like are crazy. Like, people be murdering people, raping people, kidnapping people. And I'll be damned if I wake up and I'm chained in somebody's basement. But, she seemed like this, I could just feel this vibe and I can just feel her org. And I was just like, I knew that she wasn't going to murder me. I wasn't going to wake up and I wasn't going to be in somebody's sex dungeon. So I took me a nice little nap while I was in the back of that car for like half the ride, right? So when I wake up, we're like, we're in the middle of nowhere. We're probably like an hour and a half away. And I'm like, and we start talking, right? And she was just like the most sweetest, kindest, nicest person I have like ever met. Like hands down, like one of the best Uber drivers I've ever had. She was so freaking just sweet and caring. And you know how like sometimes like you don't like when the Uber drivers talk to you, but when she started talking to me, I didn't mind. It was just like she was just so lovely, just a lovely, lovely lady, right? So like halfway to this place, we was hungry. Like we got hungry. We've been in the car for like at least like 2 hours at this point. So we made a little pit stop and we went to this Mexican restaurant in like literally in the middle of nowhere. Like literally in the middle of nowhere. And we got tacos, we sat down, we ate, we conversated, and it was just, it was a bad situation. It started off as a bad situation, but I just feel like I needed that conversation, just to I needed to have that conversation that I had with her, just, I don't know. I just feel like I was put in that situation for a reason, I always feel like, there's a method to his madness. And, that conversation, even though we didn't even talk about anything just like super deep, I just feel like that conversation really just had an effect on me. We had our tacos or whatever. She finished driving me to my destination. And before I got out the car, I just let her know that I was just like so eternally grateful for her. Because it was just like, first of all, if it wasn't for you, I'd be broke as fuck the next week for my cruise. Second, you got me to my destination safely in the middle of nowhere. And now you have to drive all the way back to, she was from the east side. And now you have to drive all the way back to like the east side, which is 3 hours away by herself now. And it was just like, I was just so grateful for her and just, what she did. Even though I paid her for what she did, it was just like, I know a lot of Uber drivers who wouldn't go that far. Like, I know one of my coworkers got dropped off at the bottom of the mountain one time with no service, just like in the middle of fucking nowhere because the Uber driver didn't want to go up. Like, I'm just grateful that she took me where I had to go and eternally grateful for her. We even took a little selfie and I'm gonna post it. But to wrap this story up, y'all, make sure y'all go to sleep on time and make sure y'all always on time and y'all set as many alarms as y'all need to, or y'all end up like me having to pay $150 to go where you gotta go. Make sure y'all stay safe out there, wash your hands, continue to practice social distancing, and I'll catch y'all on the flip side.